the Jewish people
The 2nd of December, Rabbi Levitt, Pele Yoetz.
It's incumbent upon every member of the Jewish people to make personal protective devices to prevent any violation of the Torah, as is written in Vayikra, you shall keep my charge. Our sages, Moed Katan 5a, explain, make a protective device in order to keep my charge. The person, depending upon his nature, the extent to which his evil inclination attacks him, needs to establish these safeguards and prohibit even that which is permitted, so that he does not come to permit that which is prohibited. For example, someone who has become accustomed to excessive drinking should prohibit upon himself even minimal intake of an alcoholic beverage. If he needs to swear an oath and to fulfill his vow, let him do so. This will be in accordance with the verse in Tehillim 119:106. I have sworn and I will fulfill in order to keep your righteous judgments. Alternatively, a person should impose a monetary fine upon himself every time he transgresses or imposes a fast or other deprivation that he can bear in order to prevent himself from sinning. The commentators, see Rambam and Hilchos, Parent 1:4, wrote that even though the middle path is perfection, i.e., a person should not pursue luxuries and prohibitions, but should also not deprive himself of basic pleasures, and he should not be excessively pious, and everything has a limit relative to each person's nature. This applies to someone who has not been habituated in a bad way. However, a man who has gone on a bad path needs to distance himself in an extreme way from anything which is unbecoming. After a long period of time, he should be able to walk again in the middle path and not stray from it. The men of the Great Assembly, Avos 1:1, already commanded us, and make a protective fence for the Torah. This is the Torah for every man. The rule for each person is that he must establish protective devices according to his needs.
Okay, very good. So, right. Even though the middle path is the golden path, the golden mean. But that's as long as a person hasn't gone off the deep end. If he's gotten addicted to something or excessive in something, which is itself not allowed, or it leads to things that are not allowed. So he's saying that now he can't just go the middle path. He's got to take extreme measures, because he's gone off the charts. So that's the example. That's what they do. Like excessive drinking. The person has excessive drinking. So now he's got to swear it off. He says he's got to swear it off. You're not allowed to swear. You're not allowed to make a neder. But for the sake of keeping the mitzvahs, you're entitled to do so. So this is interesting. He's saying that this is not only to make derabbanans that the Chazal do or the Anshe Knesset Gadola do, but it's for every person. He says every man here. He doesn't mean he's not excluding women. He means every person. And I don't know why he translated as man. Whatever. But he certainly includes everyone. Every person himself. He has to make the fences for his own needs. So each person has a different predilection. That's what it says in the Hebrew. So Torah Sa'adam. That is the Torah of a Adam. Kol echad biyado ligdor geder. Everybody has in his according to his situation to make a geder la'atzmo for himself personally. Lefi mashahu tzorik, according to that which he personally needs. And he mentioned even imposition of a monetary fine to keep himself in line. This is a really a great or he says, or to impose a fast or some other type of thing, some other type of deprivation to prevent himself from doing what's an avera. Because that sometimes helps more than actually the fear of doing the avera. The fear of losing the money is more pressing than the fear of doing the avera. So we have our eyes ahead of us, and we have a fine in place, so the person will not do the avera because he doesn't want to have to pay the fine. So that's great. That's exactly what he's got to do. It's not l'shem. It's not. Don't worry about it's not that's the main thing is he doesn't do the wrong thing. What's awesome. Okay. And now we go to Eliezer. We have some Hebrew now. Baruch Hashem.
You saved the big one for me. V'asher echzeh gader gadol l'orach chaim u'leman sur mishol lo motzatzi ella davar echad tov asher lamadati mitorasenu hakadosha she'amru uritem oso uzkartem es kol mitzvos Hashem. And I guess this making of a geder, of a protective, is a good thing, a great thing to do in your life, in order to do proper things, do good things that we've learned in the Torah, as it says in Midbar, and you should see them and do them. I guess this is a sign, and you should use the sign. The sign will help you remember what we have to do, and you will fulfill the mitzvahs that are written in the Torah. Okay.
Okay.
Was I close?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to figure out what he's getting at. Also, the English translation reads, "I have seen one great protective fence for the proper path of life, and for the sake of avoiding the grave, that I have learned from our holy Torah." That says, and now he quotes this pasuk in Bamidbar.
Yeah, that's not what the Hebrew says. That's for sure. Okay. Avamar Rosenu Zikron Vracha, and the Chachamim say in Menachos, Raya Mevia Lide Zechia, seeing leads to remembering. Zechia Mevia Lide Asiya, and remembering leads to doing. So if you see this sign, you will remember about the mitzvahs, then you will come to do the mitzvahs. Im et hadavar hazeh taseh v'yacholto emar.
Now you happen to know what the pasuk is talking about. Re'isim oso uzachartim es kol mitzvahs Hashem. What is that? What is that pasuk talking about?
Isn't it tefillin? Is that tefillin?
Let's take a look. You can take a look in the third paragraph of your Kriya Shema. If you got a sitter, or if you got a Bamidbar. can look at in Sefer Bamidbar, but it's the third paragraph of Shema.
Right. So he's talking to Philin.
Uh-huh. Chaya lechem letzitzis. Ureisimo so.
Okay. Tzitzis, sorry.
And you will have tzitzis. Tzitzis, who's coming in? Roy is coming in. Roy's coming in for the fun. He wants to join in the fun. Tzitzis, the word tzitzis means to look at. Meitzitz min acharakim. Hashem is looking at us from the crack in the wall. Tzitzis. That's what you're supposed to do with tzitzis. You're supposed to look at them. We're isimoso, and you will look and you'll look upon it. Lashon Yochid for some reason. Uzachartem, and as a result of that, Zachartem is called mitzvos Hashem. You'll remember all the mitzvahs Hashem, ve'asisamosam, and then as a result of remembering them, you will do them. And look what it says over here. After that, it says Lo sasur acharei levavchem ve'acharei neichem she'etem zonim achareihem. And then, and as a result of doing that, you won't stray after your heart and after your eyes, which lead you astray. So he says that really, in the Torah itself, this is the whole function of the mitzvah of the mitzvah of tzitzis. It's a mitzvah unto itself, but it's a geder. The mitzvah of tzitzis is a geder to look at the tzitzis, and then as a result of looking at the tzitzis, and tzitzis, the gematria of tzitzis is 600, and then you got the 8 strands and the 5 knots, and that makes 613. So right there in the tzitzis is 613. You remember the mitzvahs, and if you remember the mitzvahs, Bez Hashem, you're gonna overcome the Yetzer, and you're gonna do them, and you're not gonna think the wrong thing or look in the wrong place. Okay, that's a geder min Torah. That's the Torah's geder.
Okay. V'im zeh hadavar hazeh taseh v'yachalta amod, and if this thing that you do and you are able to stand, v'yachalta.
If this matter you will do, you'll put on the tzitzis, and you won't just put on the tzitzis, but you'll actually look at them, and you'll actually, when you look at them, this is a big if. I mean, I wonder if anybody does this except the person in the Gemara. They looked at the tzitzis and he ran away from the prostitute. But that's what you're supposed to do. If you'll do this, if this thing taseh you will do, yacholtam amod, you will prevail and you will stand. He's translated, you will succeed.
Kach lecha niyar echad ukatzav alecha zeloshin. You should take a piece of paper and write on it the following words, the following lashon. Hareini mekubal alai b'li ad chodesh yamim likro kol hakasav kan pam achas b'kol yom chok v'lo yavor. That I accept upon myself without a neder for 30 days to read what is written here one time each day as an obligation, and I will not transgress it. I will not do it. V'im evor eten al kol yom shekel kesef knas l'tzedakah. And any day that I don't do it, I will give a shekel of kesef as a fine to tzedakah. Ben Adam Zochar Es Boracha Zochar Ki Ata Yehudi Zochar Ki Yesh Schar Tov L'Tzadikim V'Onesh Ra V'Mar L'Rashayim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Medaktek Kechut Hasaira. A person remembers his maker. He remembers that he's a Jew. He remembers that he has. There's a reward to the tzaddikim and punishment for the wicked people, and Hakadosh Baruch Hu has been very careful about things, as you know, like the width of a thread. Ben Adam, man, he's chazik, he's ametz. You should strengthen yourself and be strong. Neged yitzrecha, against your yetzer hara. He called asher yachputz haish yased, because anything that a person wants to do, hare ratz lemitzvah uboreach min ha'avera. You should run to do a mitzvah and to run away from doing an avera. Ulafum tsara agra, and according to the effort is the reward. Call amal adam lefihu, all that a person strives for. Shmor picha, you should watch what comes out of his mouth. U'shonecha, in his language. Mi malacholos asuros, and he should keep his eating usher foods. Usafek asur machila gasa umedivrei masurim, and he should, and even a suffix of eating too much or saying improper things. Afilu medevarim b'telim, even idle things. Diksiv, as it says in Malachi, Hogatem Hashem b'divrechem. Hashem hears your words. V'tovas Hashem kol giva lev, and it's discussing to Hashem all of the haughtiness in your heart. It's in Mishlei. Kol kabel dina ani es kol kabel dina ani et daka hana alavim ve'enam olvim shomim herpasam v'chulu. Call, not sure what this last phrase is. Call kibel, anyone who accepts the din upon himself, or I accept all this din upon myself. Estacha hane'alavim, not sure.
Yeah, let's okay, so
It's
first
right-
of all, yeah,
It's a piece after the quote from Mishlei, and I'm not quite sure what it's saying.
okay, so yeah, it's such a long, laborious sentence over here. I forgot what it is he's talking about. He's talking about writing down a resolution on a piece of paper. That's what he's talking about.
Yep.
Hareini makabel alai. I accept upon myself. He says, "Bli neder." Today, they say you can even do it with a neder, or you can even do it with a shvua. He himself said it just a minute ago. It's for the sake of a mitzvah. But in any case, here he says, "Bli neder," for a month's time. That I'm not gonna transgress in the following thing, and he doesn't specify anything over here. Every person can do it as that he wants to write over there, and if otherwise he's going to pay a monetary fine, if he violates it for every day that he violates it, he pays a monetary fine. Okay, so then he's exhorting us. Remember, Ben Adam, you as a person, remember Hashem, remember your Creator, remember that you're a Jew, and remember the great reward that there is for people that are the tzaddikim and the opposite, lo aleinu, for the people that are not, and Hashem is he's very punctilious in the judgment over here. Okay, so then he said the different specific exhortations over here to strengthen oneself against your Yoetz Hara, like he said, and run to do a mitzvah and flee from doing avera, and according to the efforts and the pain involved in doing that, and in running to do the mitzvah and fleeing from avera, according to the effort and the pain involved, that's greater. The greater the reward is. Kol adam lefiu, all of his effort that he's going to get reward for, or the punishment, goes according to what comes out from his mouth. And then he talks about different. He didn't mention the Gemara in Sanhedrin says that that's talking about that's the source for saying that that's the Gemara asked over there. So what should he do with his mouth? And the Gemara says he should be osik, at the end of the day, brings a pasuk, he should be osik b'Torah. That's the ultimate use of the mouth. But the other things over here you have to be aware of eating the wrong thing or saying the wrong thing. And then he goes to Gaiva. Okay, so now we got the story, what it is that he's where he's coming from, and now we try to understand these words. Kol kabel dino ani es dako hanelovim ve'enam ovim shomi mechamposim v'chulei. Okay, so basically, he's quoting in other words, as opposed to being a Baal Gaiva, a person should be very humble, and he accepts upon himself that he is going to not respond when somebody insults him or makes light of him, etc., etc. Those are the ne'lovim, the ones that are shamed, the einam ovim, but they don't shame back the one who shamed them in return. And that's that the Gemara says over there. They're like their gevura is greater than the sun that comes out in its strength when it comes up in the morning. Okay, that's basically what he's saying over there. We'll continue from
V'niyas mechim b'yisurim.
Nakir miut erkeno, v'koitzer achadaseinu, v'oitzem chatoseinu, v'niyas mechim b'yisurim. Yeah.
Yeah. V'niyas mechim b'yisurim nekayim, and you should be happy with the troubles, the surim, the difficulties that you experience, and you should live through them. Tati negdi tamid, and as it says in Tehillim, I sin before you always. I have sinned before you. I have sinned before you always. We told
the sins that I have done. Not that I'm sinning before you always. The sins that I have done are constantly before you.
Right.
I put them before me constantly. That's
right.
what David said. He
right.
did one sin, he did two sins in his whole life, and they were always in front of him constantly for the rest of his life.
Right. You know about them, and I know about them. We told Kach Nitzel Mereos Rabos, the Hakas, the Machloches, the Kadome. And because of all of this, there will be much anger and machlokas and similar things. Shivisi
In
Hashem.
Asel, we will be saved from. We will be saved from Ros Rabos, many great evils, and from anger and from machlokes, strife, and
Okay.
yeah.
Shivisi Hashem Lenekti Tamid. I will stand Shivisi. I will. I will always be before you. You always be before me. Zeklal Gadol b'Torah.
Yeah.
This is a great rule in the Torah.
Yeah.
V'ani mamin, I believe emunah shleim in a full heart or full faith. Shemalo kol haaretz kavodo, that the earth is filled with your honor. Va'ech yimlaeni libi lavar al ratzon, and I shouldn't find it in my heart to go against you, against your will, Melech Ram Vanisa, wonderful and honorable. Ayam Venora, other words of praise. Ul Hachiso Alpanav V'lasot Hara Be'inecha B'fanav. And so I don't come to embarrass your face by doing something evil before you, something bad before you. He's promising that he will know what sins he has done. The person will should know what sins he has done, and should take it to heart to not do them. To understand that Hashem is filling the world with His honor, and it's a genai to Hashem, to sin in front of Him, and you're denying you're mevaza his honor and his you're being mevaza the honor of Hashem to do these averas, and you're trying your best to not do them.
Yeah. In other words, after he said, take a pen and paper and do that and all that, and then the rest of this, I guess, is just like a sort of he's giving us a schmooze over here. It sounds like to be able to do what it is that you accept upon yourself to that you're not going to do X for the next month every day, and so now he's giving you this mussar shmooze to be machazik you to think about these things, so that you will be strong and be able to be successful in this resolution that you have made. I suppose that's why he's saying all this now. It's very nice that he's saying all this. It's very good. It's just wondering what it's doing over here all of a sudden. I think that's what the reason is.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
You should yeah. We have to go already? Oh, okay. We're being called away. So
all right.
Okay.
Have
everybody.
a good day. Mazel tov again on your grandson.
Thank you.
So
Mazel
that's
tov,
it for today. No Gemara here.
I don't know how long this is going to take. I hope that we'll be able to get back at least. I don't know if it's going to be on time, but it'll be. Hopefully I'll be back here by 12 o'clock. I would hope to be back by 12 o'clock, so we would have a half an hour if you want.
All right. Are you going to leave it on, or are you going to turn it off?
Yeah, I'll just leave it on.
Okay. Very good. Thanks.
Okay. All the best.
No.